Hiya folks, JD here, and today we've got 12 months on the JD20S. Now, it was 2017 when I flew the JD20, and I really enjoyed it. I hadn't seen anything that had quite come out that was... It still had its little issues, but it was a darn sight more refined than some of the other stuff that we were getting at the time in the same price bracket. So I was really taken with it, and I flew it for a little while. Then we had a competition and I gave it away for the next person in to enjoy. Then about a year later they came out with this, which is the JD20S, which is meant to be in the, sort of improvements, camera improvement, a couple of other things, quite cosmetic other improvements. Still a brushed quad, but still, I bought it, took it out, and I enjoyed it. Essentially, it's the exact same quad, just with a different camera. That's pretty much it. Just a couple of different colours, a different colour scheme from the plain white. And again, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. I thought there were some things that could have been better about it. I remember saying that I would have wanted, because a 12-month had gone on, I would have wanted optical flow. That's the one thing that stood out to me that was missing and that I really could have done with. And I thought that if they'd had that, this would have been a runaway winner. I mean, I think it was about £40 that I paid for it. So it's not that expensive for what you get. I mean, you have a long time. This was sort of, I remember this being on the cusp of being some of the quadcopters that started to last longer in the air. So I believe that the battery was about 12 to 14 minutes. So I was really happy with that overall, and it came with I think 2 or 3 batteries at the time, and I really enjoyed it. But the purpose of this video is for me to tell you what it's like 12 months on. So 12 months on, I have flown this a few times. It's sat on my shelf. I think I'm up to about maybe 10 or 12 flights with this now, possibly, and overall I do still enjoy it. But, and this is the big but, it's 2019 now, folks, and literally we have seen the market saturated with all these great quadcopters and bad ones as well. And honestly, I don't think this particular quad has any sort of right in being inside 2019. We've moved on a lot from this is just altitude hold, that's it. We've moved on from that. We have GPS and optical flow. We have optical flow. We still have some altitude hold quads there, but the majority is now GPS or optical flow. This has neither. So therefore, I don't think this has a place in 2019. But 12 months on, it still works. All the motors work, the brushed motors work, everything about it still works. But I don't think it has a place in 2019. That's the thing. I think if you were to look at buying this, you'd be paying about £40, maybe a little bit more. And I think, quite honestly, if you were to do that, you would be shorting yourself out. Because there are other quads out there for an extra £10, £20, which have got a GPS module in, which have got some sort of return to home functions, which actively can help you in your flight and in your retrieval of a quadcopter. Now, with this one as well, I did find, and I'm still finding, that the transmitter, now this particular quad is a good field quad. It's done me very proud in the field where we fly. I haven't had any problems in the field where we fly as well, and it's still the same place, my go-to place to fly, just because it's long enough, it's wide enough, it's nowhere near people. And when people do come in, I just down the quad anyway, as all of you know. And I think, honestly, this particular quadcopter is best suited to that field. Now, once again, as I said, a lot of people have a downer on brushed motors. Yeah, some people have had bad experiences, and that's that. I'm not going to go down those routes. Myself, I still find that brush still works well for me. I prefer brushless, but these brushed motors still work very, very well. I can't fault them in their actual working 12 months on. Now, everything else about this quad is just purely cosmetic. The battery just fits in directly into the back. The camera itself is passable, as usual is passable, but it's not brilliant. Overall, I can look back at the tech from a year ago with this, and I can think, wow, we've come a hell of a long way in those 12 months. I really think we have, because as I said, this was just an altitude hold quad with pretty okay battery life, with longer battery life than the other competitors at the time. The camera, again, was roughly around about the same as a lot of others at the time in the same price bracket. But I look now at what we have, and I just think we've come so far. I enjoyed this. They had 3 of these particular quadcopters out. The JD20 was the first, the JD20S and the JD20S Pro. I've got all 3 of them in the description should you want to see more. Essentially, you've got the same quadcopter just with different features. The JD20S Pro, I don't really think had any massive difference over this one, albeit I still got it anyway just to see, and I think it's just this one in a different colour. That's quite literally it. I'm very happy with how this quad still flies a 12-month on. If you have bought it and if it still flies a 12-month on, then brilliant. We share the same sort of experience. Let me know what you think though, folks. Have you had this quad? Have you enjoyed it? I know some of you are quite vocal in the comments and have said on this particular quadcopter that you didn't like it, which is fine. It's all down to personal preference at the end of the day. Let me know why. Did you have a bad experience? Was it motors? Was it battery? Were the cells not holding charge? Was it just its overall flight just didn't appeal to you? Let me know in the comments, folks. All right. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.